Steve Cunningham versus Krzystof Glowacki. Potentially quite an interesting fight. When this one was initially announced, I actually gave Cunningham a pretty good chance in this fight. I guess Glowacki has maybe been unfairly pigeonholed as a bit of a brawler, a bit of a scrapper after the now famous Fight of the Year candidate he had against Marco Huck. And I kind of, perhaps on initial thoughts, were thinking Steve Cunningham could cause real bother here for Glowacki. Cunningham performed with immense credit at heavyweight and is going to be stepping down to a lighter division where, maybe the guys hit a bit less hard, maybe the guys are a bit smaller, and I thought potentially with his movement, with his experience, he could cause Glowacki real problems. And it's certainly fair to say that's the key for Steve Cunningham here. Glowacki's a very tough guy. He punches hard. He's very adept in the pocket. For me, Cunningham's best bet is to use his athleticism. He's going to have to move laterally. He's going to have to establish his jab early on. He's going to have to get Glowacki to chase him. And he's going to have to try to outpoint him within that fashion. That's the way that's going to be best for Steve Cunningham. Having said that, having reflected on it, I'm going with Glowacki, and I'm going to tell you why. Cunningham, for me, I believe he's 39 years old, and I think the signs of him starting to slow are present. Let's be honest, there's a lot of miles on the clock. He's had a lot of tough fights, both at cruiserweight and at heavyweight. He's been in with guys who are much bigger than him, guys who are younger than him, and I just think he's starting to take his toll. I was very disappointed in his performance over Antonio Tarver, which I believe was a draw if I remember correctly. He definitely should have won that fight. He had the capability to win it. For some reason it just didn't seem to happen for him that night, and he wasn't capable of performing on the level that I know he could. Cunningham's not a guy to be underestimated. Let's be honest, he probably gave Tyson Fury, the world heavyweight #1, the toughest fight of his career. On his day, Cunningham's a tricky guy. But for a guy whose best bet for me is to use his athleticism, to use his movement, to run for 12 rounds of the fight pot-shotting, is Father Time beginning to catch up with him more of a negative. I could see Cunningham coming out and I could see him winning the first round or two. But Glowacki to me seems to be quite a relentless guy. And Glowacki himself, whilst he's been pigeonholed maybe in a lot of fans' minds as a brawler after the Marco Huck fight, not that I've watched his entire back catalogue, but for me the signs are there that this guy is a capable boxer as well. Southpaw guy, can engage from the outside, happy to stand at distance and fight long. Don't get me wrong, his inclination is to get into the pocket. He tends to fight with straight punches from outside, and then upon moving in, he is happy to sort of throw down a bit more with slightly wider punches, brings in the hooks and etc. And I think in the first round or two, he may be chasing Steve Cunningham, and chasing him, maybe exchanging jabs, maybe walking him down. But I get an impression here, a bit of a relentlessness about Glowacki. I think he's going to be a man on a mission, and I think he's going to walk Steve Cunningham down, and I think he's going to bring a lot of pace and a lot of power and a lot of bad intentions when he does get inside the pocket. Steve Cunningham, very schooled, very experienced, a vet of the sport, tremendous resume, some of the things he's done, some of the near misses he's had. But I suspect that the timing in this one is right for Glowacki and not so hot for Steve Cunningham. I'm actually going to pick Glowacki to win the fight by mid to late stoppage. He's a hard puncher. Bizarrely, even though Cunningham's stepping down in weight, Glowacki may actually be the bigger man in there. And I think Cunningham is going to tire with the relentless approach of Glowacki. I think Glowacki will have more success than Cunningham anticipates from the outside. I think the fight will be more even with the battle of the jabs than expected. And I think Glowacki will start to wear Cunningham down in the middle rounds. and with his power, is probably going to have what it takes to hurt Cunningham. And Cunningham's a very, very durable guy. He's been in there with big punches. He's got up from guys like Amir Mansour. He's a very durable guy. But Glowacki could be a very, very good fighter. And while Steve Cunningham shouldn't be underestimated, while Steve Cunningham potentially has a style to cause problems for Glowacki, I'm siding with Glowacki to win the fight. And if I had to choose a method, points is possible, but I'm going to side with late stoppage. It'll be a great story if Steve Cunningham won. He seems like a really likeable, nice guy. On balance, for me, picking with my brain, not my heart, I'm going Glowacki. Let me know your thoughts. How do you see the fight going? How do you think it will break down stylistically? Drop your prediction in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this video, do hit the thumbs up. I'd certainly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Many thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter @BoxingGossip. Thanks very much.